She call me Poppy sipping champagne.
And yeah, I just don't enjoy it. It's not an enjoyable experience for me, and I don't like any of you.
So tell me now, a lot of people say they kind of compare you to Omari, Hardaway, and Drake. So do you ever feel like you could be a body double? Do you?
Yeah, you know what? I've heard the physical comparison. I don't think I look like him, but
Well, maybe
I hope maybe I can get their bank account one day. That'd be straight.
If
I look kind of like this Drake. It's something about the eyes, the nose.
You're probably tired of these comparisons, but
Who you got?
when we first saw you come across the screen, we said he kind of looked like Drake, right? But you look better than Drake. You know what I'm saying? So that's a problem, Tyler. I just gotta say it, okay?
What's that? Why is that a problem? What you mean?
It's a problem for Drake because you act, you music, okay? And you fine as hell. Like, that's a problem for Drake.
You know, I remember being in college. This is probably like 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 10, 11 years ago. Anyway, I remember being on campus, and this is like when Drake was first coming out. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't as popular as he is right now. And they were like, "Yo, man, you look like that rapper Drake." And I'm like, who? And I kept hearing it, you know what I'm saying, throughout the year. And I'm like, who the hell is Drake? You know what I'm saying? Because he was just coming out. So It's like, this has been something that's following me going back a decade now. You know what I'm saying? So I've been hearing this before I hit the acting screen.
Carlos declined.
Embarrassing.
Carlos declined.
In this video, I'm going to be exposing Drake, Tyler Lepley, and Dino from H-Town, because all three of these characters are the same. And this video that you're about to watch is only a small segment of the full version of this video, because in the full version of this video, I exposed 13 of Drake's characters. This is a very good video that is only available on my Patreon. So join my Patreon so you can watch the full video. The link's in the description below. This is a really good video because, like I said, I exposed 13 of Drake and Prince's characters. And I also exposed their base character as well, because Drake and Prince have a very old Mexican base character and 13 other characters. So this was a really long video with so much research and information. This is probably one of my best videos ever because this was a big project. As you can see, there's 2 parts to this video because the video was an hour and 10 minutes long. This is my most in-depth video that I've ever made. You know, this video was basically a project because I spent months doing research for this video. So go watch this video. You will be very shocked on the 13 other characters that Drake and Prince have. The link to this video is in the description below. Also, before we get into the video, I just want to let you guys know that Divine Sade made a really good numerology calendar that is out now on our Patreon. And this calendar is free for all of our Celestial tier members. So shout out to everybody that's a part of our Celestial tier. That's the tier where we offer phone calls and numerology readings. The Celestial tier is our best tier because you get access to everything that we put out. So you get the Twin Flame ebook for free, the numerology ebook for free, and you get the numerology calendar for free as well. And you don't have to join the Patreon if you just want the calendar. You can still get the calendar without joining our Patreon. All you have to do is click the link in the description. It's a really good deal because when you buy this calendar, you get a coupon for 50% off on our numerology ebook. Because keep in mind, in order to use the numerology calendar, you need to read the numerology ebook that we have because these 2 items go together. Our numerology ebook is about the simulation that we live in. We live in a matrix that is governed by numbers, and every single number has a certain energy attached to it. This is why celebrities and the demons that run this matrix use numbers with everything, because they know this knowledge. And keep in mind, numbers and energy is neutral. You can either use it for good or for bad, and they're obviously using it for bad. But if you know the truth, you can use this to succeed in your own life and use it for good. So this is why we have this book, because in this book you will learn everything you need to know about every single number and how you can apply it in your everyday life. Once you read this book, you can use the knowledge that we gave you to succeed in the matrix every single day, because every single day is governed by a certain number. So this is why we made the calendar, so that you can use the calendar and the knowledge that you now have from the book and apply this to your everyday life. So if you want to know why they use so many numbers on the world stage, go get this book because this is some very deep information that nobody talks about. And like I said before, if you buy the calendar, you get a coupon for 50% off on the numerology ebook. So I recommend buying the calendar and then using that coupon to buy the book so that you can get it for $14. So you can either do that or you can just join the Patreon and you can use our 35% off coupon that we currently have active right now. That coupon is only going to be available until January 1st. And right now, all of our Patreon members also get a 35% off coupon for the Twin Flame book as well. So if you want to know about twin flame relationships and non-twin flame relationships, go read this book. We gave so much information on how you can attract your twin flame, or some people call it soulmate, but twin flame is a better word. Go read this book so you can understand what I'm saying better. The link's in the description below. Thank you guys so much for your support on YouTube and Patreon. And now let's get into the video. So if you guys remember 3 months ago, I exposed Kendrick Lamar for being one of Tyler the Creator's characters. As you can see, Kendrick and Tyler the Creator are both based off of Step and Fetch It. You guys can go watch this video if you haven't. The reason I bring this up is because I forgot to mention a few connections in that video. So Kendrick is currently beefing with Drake, and one of Kendrick's characters is Tyler the Creator, and Tyler the Creator has many posts with Drake, and he even mentioned Drake on a song. And then here's a picture of Tyler taking a picture of Drake, and then Drake has this picture with a Tyler the Creator chain, and Drake even follows Tyler the Creator on Instagram. So notice how Drake is friends with Tyler the Creator, but yet he has beef with Kendrick Lamar, and Kendrick Lamar is just one of Tyler's characters. So they're letting you know that the beef is fake. And here's many times where Tyler the Creator has posted Drake's album. He had it on a skateboard. Right here, he has it tucked in. You know, Tyler the Creator is just a clown. He always makes these jokes. So he tried to promote Drake's album in a funny way. Right here, he's giving his Drake album some air. Right here, his Drake album is listening to Drake's album. And then right here, he fed his Drake album a sandwich. And then right here, he has the Drake album sitting in his car. Another connection is that Drake's nickname is the Sixth God, and the Sixth God equals 666 in gematria. And as you can see, Tyler has these photos where he's wearing a Satan shirt with the number 666 on the back of it. And here he is doing one-eye symbolism with the pyramid. So if you guys want more information about Tyler and Kendrick Lamar, go check out this video. I just wanted to show those quick connections because that's more proof that Kendrick Lamar and Tyler are in the same group of characters. And speaking of Tyler, now let's move on to one of Drake's other characters, which is Tyler Lepley. So that's another connection. You know, the fact that Drake is beefing with Kendrick, Kendrick's other character is Tyler, and Drake has another character called Tyler as well. So all of these characters are interconnected, and I made a video about this a few years ago, and the Shade Room and Tyler Lepley responded to my video. So before I get into the responses that they made, let's take a look at some comparisons of Drake and Tyler Lepley, because it's very obvious that these two characters are the same. Here's another really good comparison of Tyler Lepley and Drake. And this comparison is spot on. I mean, their head shape is the same, their hair is the same, their eyes are the same, their nose is the same, their mouth is the same, their facial hair is the same. This one is very obvious. That's why this was my first video on Drake. Here's some more photos of them posing the same way. And right here, they have the same exact smile. So here's 2 videos of Tyler Lepley talking about Drake.
You're probably tired of these comparisons, but
Who you got?
when we first saw you come across the screen, we said, he kind of looked like Drake, right? But you look better than Drake. You know what I'm saying? So that's a problem, Tyler. I just gotta say it, okay?
What's that? Why is that a problem? What you mean?
It's a problem for Drake because you act, you music, okay? And you man as hell. Like, that's a problem for Drake.
You know, I remember being in college. This is probably like 10 years ago. Mm-hmm. Maybe 10, 11 years ago. Anyway, I remember being on campus, and this is like when Drake was first coming out. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't as popular as he is right now. And they were like, "Yo, man, you look like that rapper Drake." And I was like, and I'm like, who? And I kept hearing it. You know what I'm saying? Throughout the year, and I'm like, who the hell is Drake? You know what I'm saying? Because he was just coming out. So it's like, this has been something that's following me going back a decade now. You know what I'm saying? So I've been hearing this before I hit the acting screen.
And you know, I'm sure it's a good problem to have, okay? Because the ladies, you know, we all love Drake, but
I was gonna say Drake's doing his thing, you know?
Yeah. So now you're getting into his lane, you're getting into the music thing. What would be your dream collaboration in all of this? Like, if you had one dream collaboration on the music side?
There's a lot, but it's like, you segued that well.
That was nice, wasn't it?
Because Drake is probably up there, you know what I'm saying? I got respect for what he's doing, you know what I'm saying? I've always seen it like, you know what I'm saying? We'll jump on a collab and then we'll mess around and host SNL together, you know what I'm saying? We'll fuck around, have a skit together, something like that.
Oh.
So like that's how I see it going. And one of the executive producers on there is Amy Poehler. So she, maybe she can backdoor that SNL skit. She's a legend over there at SNL.
Look, put it out there.
We're gonna make it happen.
Yes, Tone can host the tour. It could be a whole light skin situation. So look, ladies, I'm booked.
So tell me now, a lot of people say they kind of compare you to Omari and Drake. So do you ever feel like you could be a body double? Do you?
Yeah, you know what? I've heard the physical comparison. I don't think I look like them, but
Well,
maybe I can get their bank account one day. That'd be straight.
If I saw you and Drake in the club and like I had to punch one of y'all, I'm definitely hitting Drake.
Well, I just got off the ringside. I had to throw my hands a little bit.
Yeah.
A huge connection between Drake and Tyler Lepley is their birthdays. So Drake's birthday is October 24th and Tyler Lepley's birthday is March 24th. So both of their birthdays are on the 24th. Now let's get into the responses that Tyler Lepley did with the Shade Room. So after I exposed Drake for being Tyler Lepley in that first video, Tyler Lepley responded and he recorded a video on his story, and the Shade Room posted it and compared it to Drake and called them lookalikes.
Hey, 1, 2, 3.
So after he responded with the Shade Room, I made a video exposing that response. So after I made that second video, the Shade Room responded again by posting this comparison of Drake and Tyler Lepley, and they said that Gia and them are having a debate of who is finer, Tyler Lepley or Drake. So just ignore the nasty agenda that they got going on with that, because they want to make celebrities seem attractive, but they're creatures. There's so many nasty pictures of them. But the point of the matter here is that they're putting it in plain sight again after my video. So they did a lot of damage control and responses to my video, and then Tyler Lepley responded again in this video about a year ago where he recorded himself and he has a voiceover of Drake. It's hard to explain, but basically it's a voiceover of Drake saying something and Tyler Lepley pretending to say it. Check this out.
And yeah, I just don't enjoy it. It's not an enjoyable experience for me, and I don't like any of you.
Even after that response, they did another one, and this one was recent. It was a few months ago, and it's a short video of Tyler Lepley saying he looks like Drake.
I look kind of like this Drake. It's something about the eyes. The eyes, the nose. Matter of fact, the hair above the eyes. Yep.
So Tyler Lepley has admitted multiple times that he's Drake, and most of those responses were after my video. So that shows that they watch all of our videos and they respond and do damage control and put it in people's face at the same time. So not only do Tyler Lepley and Drake look exactly alike, but as always, they even share the same gematria. So Tyler Lepley's name and Drake's name have the same exact gematria. As you can see, Tyler Lepley is 540 in the Satanic Cipher, and then Drake's real name, Aubrey Graham, also equals 540 in the Satanic Cipher. So both of these characters' real names share the same exact gematria in the Satanic Cipher, and it's not a coincidence that it's in the Satanic Cipher because Drake's name is connected to 666. So watch this video all the way to the end so you can see that connection. But anyways, these characters' first names also share the same gematria. So Tyler equals 21 and Drake's first name Aubrey also equals 21 in the same cipher. And then their last names also share the same gematria. Drake's last name is Graham, which equals 30, and Tyler's last name is Lepley, which also equals 30 in the reduction cipher. And then we see that Tyler equals 28 and Drake's nickname is the Sixth God, which also equals 28 in the same cipher. And then Tyler Lepley equals 40 and Drake's Instagram name is Champagne P, which also equals 40. I'm not gonna say that word because he's a very fruity character. He made that his name on purpose, and I'm gonna talk more about that later. But as you can see, his Instagram name matches up with Tyler Lepley. And speaking of Instagram names, Tyler Lepley's Instagram name also matches up with Drake. So Tyler Lepley's username on Instagram is Ty Lepley. And keep in mind, when a celebrity's username on Instagram is different from their real name or their stage name, it's purposely done that way for a reason. And the reason is for gematria purposes, because he could have just had his name as Tyler Lepley, but he purposely wanted to have his Instagram username as Ty Lepley because it has a different value in gematria that connects even more with Drake's name. Just like how Drake's username, Champagne P, is purposely done because it connects to Prince. If you guys seen my Prince video on Patreon, then you guys know what I'm talking about. So as you can see, his Instagram name is Ty Lepley, which equals 120, just like Drake's real name, Aubrey Graham, which also equals 120 in the same cipher. And then Tyler Lepley's Instagram username also matches up with Drake. As you can see, Drake and Ty Lepley both equal 96 and 33. Another connection I found on Tyler Lepley's Instagram, he doesn't follow Drake, right? But when you type in Drake, he follows a different guy who's also called Drake. This guy's name is Drake Sinclair Sanders. This is obviously a connection to the fact that his other character is Drake. Now let's talk about their birthdays because they put this one right in our face. Drake's birthday is October 24th and Tyler Lepley's birthday is exactly 5 months later on March 24th. I can't make this up. They're both born on the 24th. And on top of that, Tyler Lepley's last name, Lepley, equals 24 in gematria. So that directly connects to Drake's birthday. And then Drake's nickname is Aub, which is Aubrey for short. And they also say that his other nickname is OVO because he has a record label called OVO. And this is relevant because Drake's nickname Aub equals 24 and Tyler Lepley was born on the 24th. And then Drake's record label is called OVO and OVO also equals 24. And then 24 reversed is 42 and Drake's full name Aubrey Graham equals 42. And here's a really interesting connection that I noticed. So Tyler Lepley's birthday is March 24th, right? And when you write that out, it's 3/24 or 324. And Drake's Instagram username is Champagne P, which just so happens to equal 324 in gematria. So this is what I was saying about their usernames on social media. They purposely have them different from their stage names so that it can match up in different ways. Then we see that Tyler Lepley was born in 1987 and Drake's real name Aubrey Graham equals 87 in gematria. Now let's talk about the Tyler Perry connection. So Tyler Lepley got famous when he appeared on Tyler Perry's show, and this show is called The Haves and the Have-Nots. And it's funny that Tyler Lepley got famous from Tyler Perry because both of their names sound very similar. And of course, this all connects to Drake because Tyler Perry has a video from 2017 where he's talking to some French women who don't really know who he is and he just pretends that he's Drake.
Merci. Bye-bye. But I don't know you. You are a rapper?
Yes, I'm a rapper.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, because his son don't believe her.
He's a movie director.
No, I'm a rapper.
No, he's a video actor?
No, I'm Drake.
He's Drake.
No.
Oh, really? I'm Drake.
I had to heavily edit that video because I don't want to get copyright. But if you guys want to see the full unedited version of my videos, go join the Patreon and watch it on there. I always post the original clips on there. So that was an interesting connection because Tyler Perry made Tyler Lepley famous. Tyler Lepley is Drake and Tyler Perry called himself Drake. And on top of that, I found another connection with Tyler Perry because Drake has a song called Extra Special. And in this song, he says, "All I know is that I can never find the love that Tyler Perry depicts." So he purposely mentioned Tyler Perry because Drake's other character is also called Tyler. And the second reason he mentioned Tyler Perry is because Tyler Perry made Tyler Lepley famous. And the weird thing about these characters is when you look up Tyler Lepley and Tyler Perry, all of these pictures pop up of people saying that Tyler Lepley and Tyler Perry are dating. And Tyler Lepley responded to this and said that he wasn't dating Tyler Perry in this video.
I saw they were trying to say that you were gay, and I was like, well,
really? I didn't see that.
Yeah, I didn't see it, but it's like, they I remember when I first started out, I was seeing it here and there. For whatever reason, people were associating it with like my first show. I came out on a Tyler Perry show, and like for whatever reason, he gets to rap like that. And I know Tyler personally, he's not, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, I was seeing around him, and all of a sudden he was rubbing off on me, and people thought like I was gay.
So the reason I bring up these rumors about Tyler Lepley and Tyler Perry dating and being fruity is because it's a connection to his other character. So the fact that Tyler Lepley is involved with these rumors of him not being straight is a connection to Drake, because there's so much proof that Drake is not straight. I mean, let's be honest, we all have seen these photos of Drake painting his fingernails pink, and he also painted them yellow, and then he has these other very nasty photos where he's symbolizing the fact that he's not straight. So I'm not going to go too deep into that in this video. Go watch the full video on Patreon so that you can see all of the evidence, because I pointed out every single time that Drake has done something fruity, and it was like 20 different times. You know, there was so much proof that this character is not straight. So go watch the full video on my Patreon. The link's in the description. Now let's move on to the Oprah connection. So Tyler Lepley played the role of Benny on Tyler Perry's show, and this was aired on Oprah Winfrey Network. So he's connected to Oprah, and this is a connection to Drake because Drake made a song with Lil Yachty called Oprah's Bank Account, and of course Lil Yachty dressed up as a woman, and she said that she loves Drake's song Oprah's Bank Account. So Drake and Tyler Lepley are connected to Oprah. Now let's move on to the next character, and shout out to Divine Sade. She has a good video about this as well from 2 years ago. So this character looks exactly like Drake and Tyler Lepley as well, and his name is Dino from H-Town, and as you can see, Dino looks a lot like Drake right here. They're even doing a similar pose. You can see that they have the same eyes, the same nose, and the eyes really give it away with this one because all of these characters, you know, their eyes are very far apart and they're the same shape as well. So here's some comparisons of Tyler Lepley and Dino, and they look exactly alike as well, especially right here. And then here's another really good comparison of Dino and Drake. Notice how Dino and Drake both start with a D as well. So that's an obvious connection. But now let's get into some deeper connections. So Dino's real name is Keven Connor. And as you can see, Keven Connor zodiac sign is a Scorpio, just like Drake. So they both have the same zodiac sign because their birthdays are only like 20 days apart. And keep in mind, Dino, aka Keven Connor, is from a music group called H-Town, which is short for Houston. And that's because he was born and died in Houston. So the next connections that I'm about to show you are of Drake being connected to Houston and Texas, because that's where this character is from. So the first connection is with Drake's song titled November 18th. This connection is the most obvious connection. Shout out to Divine Sade for finding this connection. So he has a song called November 18th, and his other character, Keven Connor's birthday is November 18th. I can't make this up. It's directly in our face. The reason he titled it November 18th is because he met Lil Wayne for the first time in Houston on November 18, 2008. And notice how it says that Jay Prince introduced Drake to Lil Wayne in Houston. So Prince is connected here, and then also Houston, because why did they meet in Houston? You know, it's all a connection to his other character because he was born and died in Houston. And another connection with this date is the fact that Jay Prince introduced Drake and Lil Wayne for the first time in 2008. Right? And when you take out the zeros in 2008, you get 28, and Keven Connor faked his death at age 28. And on top of that, Keven Connor's birthday is January 28. Now let's get into this other connection. So Drake released one of his biggest albums called Take Care on November 15, and his other character, Keven Connor's birthday, is November 18th. So what are the chances that he dropped his album 3 days before Keven Connor's birthday? And on top of that, Keven Connor's birthday is November 18th, and Drake literally has a song titled November 18th. And what's crazy about this is that this song is a sample of DJ Screw, Big Mo, and Big Pokey's song June 27th. And this is a huge connection because DJ Screw, Big Mo, and Big Pokey are artists from Houston. So you see how it's all connected? He titles this song after his other character's birthday, and then he samples Houston artists, and his other character is from Houston. So I can't make this up, man. It's all in plain sight. Also, this song is a sample from Big Pokey's song, and Big Pokey died on June 18th, and one of Drake's biggest rivals is XXXTentacion, and X also died on June 18th. So I just wanted to point that out because this song is also titled November 18th, and die equals 18 in Gematria as well. Another interesting connection about this date is that November 18 is the 322nd day of the year. Kendrick Lamar started his first diss track against Drake on March March 22nd, which is 322, just like the Skull and Bones. Another connection is that Drake posted himself gambling and he bet on the Dallas Mavericks, and notice in the caption he said he chose Dallas because he's a Texan, which is a huge connection to his other character, Keven Conner, who is from Texas. And then recently they were surfacing this photo of Drake announcing that he's officially a Texan. As you can see, he got his Texas driver's license. So it's very obvious that Dino and Drake are the same. You can really see the resemblance in these photos because not only do they have the same nose, but their eyes are exactly the same. They both have these eyes that are far apart and they're very droopy. You know, it's hard to explain. I've never seen somebody with eyes like that. Drake's eyes are very distinct. So when I seen Dino, I noticed that he literally has those same exact eyes. So that makes this one very obvious. Here's another good comparison as well. So not only do these characters look so much alike, but they even share the same gematria. So Dino's real name is Keven Conner, and on his gravestone they put Keven Dino Conner. That's going to be relevant later because his full name is going to match with Drake. But first let's talk about his first name, because Drake's stage name matches up with Dino's first name, Keven. So Keven equals 21, just like Drake in the reduction cipher. And it's funny that Drake's stage name matches with Dino's first name because Dino's stage name matches up with Drake's first name. So you guys see the connection there? As you can see, Dino equals 22 and 17, just like Drake's first name Aubrey, which also equals 22 and 17 in the same ciphers. And then both of their first names also match up with the number 22. Keven and Aubrey both equal 22 in the same cipher. And then Dino Conner matches up with Drake's first and last name Aubrey Graham with the number 57 in the reduction cipher. And then like I showed you guys earlier, Drake's nickname is Ob, and as you can see, Ob and Dino both equal 21 in the reverse reduction, and then Dino is 42 and Ob is 24, and 24 reversed is 42, so it's still the same number. And it's interesting that Dino and Ob both equal 42 and 24 because Drake was born on October 24th, and on top of that, their other character Tyler was also born on the 24th. So there's a lot of connections with the number 24 with these characters. As you can see, Drake was born on the 24th, and his other character Dino equals 24, and then his first name Keven also equals 24. So those two connections also connect with Tyler Lepley because he's also born on the 24th, and then Dino also matches up with the year that Drake was born. So Drake was born in 1986. 86 reversed is 68, and Dino equals 68. And then their full names also match up as well. So on Dino's gravestone, they called him Keven Dino Conner, which is very similar to Drake. Drake's full name is Aubrey Drake Graham, and he made his middle name his stage name. So it's hard to explain this connection, but you guys can see it on the screen. You know, they purposely put Dino's stage name in between his first and last name because his other character made his middle name his stage name. And of course, both of their full names have the same gematria. Keven Dino Conner equals 78, just like Aubrey Drake Graham in the same cipher. And it's so obvious that all of these characters are the same. I mean, his name is Dino, and then his name is Drake. They both start with a D. And then Drake's first name is Aubrey, and his other character's last name is Lepley. And Aubrey sounds like Lepley. Then we see that their last names also share the same gematria. So Dino's last name is Conner, and Drake's last name is Graham. And as you can see, Conner equals 33 and 30, and then Graham equals 30 and 33. And then Dino's last name Conner also matches up with Drake's nickname Six God. Conner equals 33 and 30, and Six God equals 33 and 30 in the same ciphers. And then Drake Graham equals 75, and Keven Dino Conner also equals 75 in the same cipher. It's crazy how many connections I found with these two characters' names. Another connection is that Drake matches up with Dino Conner with the number 1779 in the same cipher. And here's the satanic connection I was talking about earlier, because if you guys remember, Tyler Lepley and Drake have the same gematria in the satanic cipher, and we all know Satanists love the number 666. This is why Drake calls himself the Sixth God, and this is why he was born on the 24th, because 2 plus 4 is 6. And on top of that, both of these characters are based off of Prince, and Prince was born in June, and June is the 6th month. So go watch the full version of this video on Patreon, because I connected all of that together with more information. So both of these characters are connected to 666, and 6 represents the material world. This is why he calls himself the Sixth God, and everything he does is materialistic. You know, Drake is not a deep character whatsoever. So Dino Conner equals 666, just like Drake's nickname, the the sixth god, which also equals 666 in the Sumerian cipher. I can't make this up, man. Why would they both equal 666 in the same cipher? And like I mentioned in the beginning of this video, Tyler the Creator has a shirt that says Satan 666, and ironically, Drake's other character's name is also Tyler. And the last huge connection I found between Dino and Drake is the fact that both of their groups have the same gematria. So Drake's record label is called OVO. OVO equals 107, and then Dino's group is called H-Town. H-Town also equals 107 in the same cipher. And not only does H-Town match up with OVO, but it also matches up with Tyler, which is their other character. Tyler and H-Town have the same gematria of 80, 26, and 55. And it's very obvious that Dino and Tyler Lepley are the same as well. They look so much alike right here. And as always, not only do they look alike, but they're both also connected in gematria. So Dino's real name is Keven Connor, and Connor is spelled E-R on his gravestone. But for some reason, when you look him up on Google, Google tries to say that his last name Connor is spelled O-R. When I was doing research for this video, I was confused on which one was his correct spelling, and I assumed the correct one is the one on his gravestone, but I was confused why they were lying online about how his last name was spelled. But when you know about gematria and the fact that celebrities have other characters, then you understand why they make these quote-unquote mistakes online. They're not actually mistakes. They purposely spelled his name wrong online, and it's still like that till this day. They might change it now that I'm mentioning it, but right now you can look it up and they still have it spelled incorrectly. And the reason why they did this is because it matches up with Tyler Lepley. Because when I typed in Keven Connor and I spelled it with an E, it didn't match to Lepley. But when I spelled it with an O, the way that they have it online, I noticed that it matches perfectly with Lepley. So this is why they purposely misspell things. It's all for gematria purposes, because they have to leave behind connections between all of their other characters. So as you can see, when you spell Connor with an O, it equals 246, just like Tyler Lepley's last name, Lepley. So both of their last names have the same gematria of 246. And then Tyler Lepley and Dino Connor also have the same gematria of 157 in the same cipher. And then Tyler Lepley was born in 1987. 87 reversed is 78, and Keven Dino Connor equals 78. And then Drake's full name, Aubrey Drake Graham, also equals 78. So all three of these characters are the same. As you can see, Tyler Lepley and Dino look exactly alike, and then Dino also looks like Drake, especially in this comparison right here. They're even doing the same pose, so that explains why Tyler Lepley and Drake look alike, because both of these characters are based off of Dino, and then Dino is based off of Prince, and then Prince is based off an older Mexican celebrity. So go watch the full video for that, but I'm just trying to keep it simple right now for YouTube. So this is why my first video was about Tyler Lepley and Drake. You know, these are the two youngest characters, and they're the closest in age. These two characters are only 5 months apart, so they're both around at the same exact time. So that's why I was able to find this one first. But then me and Divine Sade did more research, and we ended up realizing that they're also based off of Dino, Prince, and an older Mexican character. And then when I did even deeper research, I found out that they made 12 other characters, all based off of that oldest character. And that's what they do. They keep recycling the same characters over and over. Nothing is original with them. And there's subgroups within the big group of characters that look more alike. So for example, Drake, Tyler Lepley, and Dino is a subgroup within the big group of 13 characters that I exposed. And with this subgroup, all three of them look so much alike. And whoever their biggest character is, he's going to be a part of all the subgroups. So this is why Drake also looks exactly like Prince and their older character. You know, all three of those characters matched up perfectly as well. So this is why Drake is like the star character of this entire group. They make a huge group of characters and they make one the biggest star of them all, and then they have a few others that are also stars but they're not as big, and then they have other smaller characters like Tyler Lepley and Dino and many other ones that I showed in the full version of this video. So keep that in mind with celebrities. A lot of people see small celebrities and they don't want to believe that they're fake, but this is why I don't hold back in my videos. I expose all celebrities because they make big celebrities and they also make small celebrities. So that's why a lot of people didn't want to believe that Tyler Lepley was Drake at first, because when I first made that video, Tyler Lepley wasn't a big character yet. But as you can see, ever since I exposed him, now he's becoming a bigger and bigger character. So so they're rolling him out even more now, especially now that Drake is falling off. Because as you can see with Diddy and Kai Cenat, they did the same thing. Once they locked up Diddy, now Kai Cenat starts becoming bigger and bigger. So anyways, I wanted to mention this subgroup on its own because these three characters have so much in common. So Drake, Tyler Lepley, and Dino all have the same amount of letters in their name. So Drake is 5 letters, Keven is 5 letters, and Tyler is 5 letters. And then their last names also have the same amount of letters. Graham is 6 letters, Connor is 6 letters, and Lepley is also 6 letters. So you get 666. That explains why Dino Connor and the Sixth God have the same gematria of 666. Now let's look at the connections with Dino's birthday. So Dino was born on November 18th, and Drake equals 18. And then 18 reversed is 81, and Tyler equals 81. And then Dino was born in 1974, and Tyler equals 74. And then Drake's nickname is Drizzy. Drizzy also equals 74, just like how Dino was born in 1974. And Dino was born on the 18th. Keep that in mind because die equals 18 in 3 ciphers. So his death was completely scripted, and I'm gonna get to that later. But first, let's talk about his date of death. So he died in 2003, and the zeros have no value, so you get 23. And Sixth God equals 23. And then Dino died on January 28, and Tyler equals 28, and the Sixth God also equals 28. So there's a lot of connections with the number 28 because what are the chances that Dino dies on the 28th of January at the age of 28 and fake dead equals 28 in gematria? And he even has a song called The Day I Die by H-Town, and Dino is a part of this song. And guess when this song was released? This song was released on September 28th. What are the chances of all this, you guys? This is not a coincidence. Everything they do is scripted, and they love doing predictive programming. They purposely made this song, and they released this song 1 year after he died. As you can see, they released this song in 2004, and the zeros have no value, so you get 24. And this is a huge connection because Drake was born on October 24th, and like I showed you guys before, Dino and Keven also equal 24 in gematria, and then Tyler Lepley's last name equals 24 as well. And even Tyler Lepley was born on the 24th, and Drake's nicknames equal 24. So this is all connected. You know, another one I had showed with 24 was that Dino equals 42, and Drake's nickname Ob equals 24. And they love using the number 42 and 24. Make sure you guys go watch Divine Sade's video about the number 42. She made 2 parts to this video because it was a really long and in-depth video. The link to this video is in the description. Join the Patreon to watch it. So last thing I want to mention about this song is the fact that Dino wrote this song called Day I Die 6 months before he died in a car accident in 2003. His twin brother Solomon Shazam Connor said that Dino had a dream about his own death and wrote the song about it. So this is obviously a fake story, but they had to put this out there to let people know that he's doing predictive programming because their entire career is scripted. He was scripted to die on that day. And another thing I found interesting is that his twin brother calls himself Shazam, and Shazam is a Mandela effect. And if you think about it, Drake's last name is Graham, and Billy Graham's death is also a Mandela effect. So both of these characters are connected to Mandela effects. And I will make a video about Mandela effects later on my Patreon because it's a really deep topic. You know, some of them are not true, but some of them are. So I'm gonna break that down deeper on my Patreon. So make sure you guys go join if you haven't already. So when I was doing research about this song, some people were saying that Dino wrote the song 6 months before he died, which is a connection to Drake because he calls himself the Sixth God. But then I also found other sources that say that Dino wrote the song 2 weeks before he died. So either way, it's still very obvious that this was scripted because 2 weeks is 14 days and dead equals 14 in gematria. And they say that he died in a car accident, right? And I found this video where H-Town was doing predictive programming of Dino's death. So H-Town has a video where they did predictive programming before he died. So the video came out before he died, right? And in the video, they're talking about how Dino died in a car accident. And then later we see that Dino actually dies in a car accident. So not only did he do predictive programming with this song called Day I Die, but he also did predictive programming with that music video. So I'm gonna try to show you guys the video right now, and then I'm gonna show you guys a real news clip right after that shows that the same thing they said in the music video is the same thing that happened in real life. So hopefully I don't get copyrighted. Like I said, if I do, just go watch the full version on Patreon. The link's in the description below, but here's the video.
I'm live from Luke Memorial Hospital. Apparently, one of the members of the group H-Town has been injured in a serious accident. What indeed Dino Hodges. At this time, the doctors are attempting to assess his condition. And
some of my friends, HPD, you know, they were just talking about, man, it was a bad accident. Guys ended up committing a robbery, flying at a high rate of speed, and hit this little couple.
In the car was Dino and his pregnant girlfriend.
So ever since I exposed Tyler Lepley and Drake 3 years ago, they started doing a lot of damage control with Tyler Lepley because he wasn't that famous when I made this video. And ever since I made the video, they started linking him up with other celebrities and they started pushing him out on social media more ever since I made this video. And that's what they do with a lot of celebrities after we expose them. So I made this video 3 years ago, and after I made this video, he started dating Miracle Watts, and now they're engaged and they have a child. So this is a huge connection because Drake loves Miracle Watts. As you can see, Drake mentioned Miracle Watts on his song 2on/Thoughtful, and in the song he said, "You bring the cash right here, man. Miracle, sit your butt down here, man." So I don't know why he called her a man, but well, we all know why he did that because all celebrities are inverted, so she technically is a man. But anyways, this is a huge connection because, like I said, Drake has mentioned Miracle Watts on his music, and now his other character is engaged with Miracle Watts after my video, and now they have a child together. So here's some more times where Drake has celebrated Miracle Watts. He celebrated her career by retiring her jersey in the club. As you can see, here's the post that Drake made, and he said paid dues, and the jersey in the middle represents Miracle Watts. And then Drake even follows Miracle Watts on Instagram, and Miracle Watts follows him back. So this is in plain sight. She's engaged and has a child with Tyler Lepley, and she still follows Drake on Instagram, and Drake is Tyler Lepley's other character. And the connections don't end there. Shout out to Devon Sade for mentioning this because the connections even extend to Miracle Watts' other character. So Trina is Miracle Watts. Shout out to Devon Sade for making this video. I'll put a link to her video in the description. So this extends the connections even further because Drake has a song with Trina, and there was even rumors of them dating 14 years ago. So this is why Tyler Lepley is with Miracle Watts. Nothing they do is ever by coincidence. It's always a connection to their other character because Drake obviously is connected to Trina. Even till this day, Drake still follows Trina on Instagram and Trina follows him back. And to top it off, Trina even follows Miracle Watts on Instagram, so she's literally following her other character. And Miracle Watts even follows Trina on Instagram as well, so both of these characters are following each other, so they're showing you in plain sight. And speaking of Miracle Watts, another connection that she has with both of these characters is the fact that she started her career in the Dreams Club in Houston, Texas, right? And this is a huge connection because she's connected to Drake and Tyler Lepley. Drake and Tyler Lepley are based off of Dino from H-Town, and Dino was born and died in Houston, Texas. So all of these characters are connected. Nothing they do is by coincidence. Another obvious connection between Tyler Lepley and Drake is the fact that both of these characters are actors and rappers. So as we know, Drake started off as an actor on Degrassi, and then Lil Wayne helped him become a rapper. And then Tyler Lepley started as an actor as well, and now he's a rapper. As you can see, Tyler Lepley is a rapper. Here's one of his songs, and I noticed that he looked a lot like Drake in the thumbnail of this song, and they really had to put this one in our face because as you can see at the bottom, it says that Tyler Lepley has said that he's inspired by 50 Cent and Lil Wayne. And this is another huge connection to Drake because Drake started his rap career with Lil Wayne. Another connection is with this photo. So in this photo, he looks a lot like Drake, right? And I pointed this out in the first video I made about Drake and Tyler Lepley 3 years ago, and after I made the video, he ended up taking the photo down, and I talked about that in the second video I made. But now it's back up, so I want to bring up this connection again because he put this one right in our face. He has this picture where he's posing with a champagne bottle, and his other character is Drake, and Drake's name on Instagram is Champagne, so it's right in our face.
She call me Poppy sipping champagne.
And this is the champagne that he was posing with. Apparently it's 50 Cent's champagne, which is another connection because Drake has this picture with 50 Cent. But another connection with this is the fact that this is the official champagne for the Houston Astros, the Houston Rockets, and the Houston Texans. So this champagne that Tyler Lepley is promoting is the official champagne for 3 Houston teams. And this is a huge connection because his other character is Dino, and Dino was born and and died in Houston. So there's so many connections with all of these characters, but I just had to point this one out because it's really obvious and right in our face. So in conclusion, I hope you guys can now see all of the similarities and connections between Dino, Drake, and Tyler Lepley. It's very obvious that all of these characters are the same, and they're just a small subgroup within the big group of 13 characters that I exposed on Patreon. And there's still more characters that I haven't exposed, and I'll get to that later, but I exposed the main 13 in that video. Make sure you guys go watch the full version of this video, especially this one, because this is their base character and I showed so many connections between these 3 characters. So go watch that video. The link's in the description. Also, go watch the full version of the Mike Tyson video on my Patreon. Thank you guys so much for your support. Be sure to drop a like, share, subscribe, turn on post notifications. We're almost to 100,000 subs. I will be doing that giveaway when I reach 100,000. So stay tuned for that. Thank you guys so much for your support on YouTube, Patreon, Instagram. I appreciate every single one of you, especially my supporters on Patreon, because my best videos are on Patreon, and I love that I built a good community in there of real people that actually understand this stuff, because there's so many trolls on Instagram and YouTube that we don't really get to interact with good people. So if you want a good community of real people, join the Patreon. We have a good group chat in there as well, where you can meet and communicate with new people.